What is up, guys? We are here at the headquarters of Roush. If you don't know who Roush is and you don't know cars, you need to check them out. They specialize in some of the high-end performance parts. They do a lot of Mustangs. They do all kinds of stuff though, but we're gonna go in there and check it out. Let's go. I'm definitely buying some stuff, Chris. Ford GT, what?
Chris, pretend look like
That's the OG one.
Holy moly. Guys, I'm like a little kid right now. Take a look at this GT. If you don't know about this, watch Ford versus Ferrari. These cars were made to compete in Le Mans to take over Ferrari. Ford did a great job. You had Carroll Shelby on it. They crushed Ferrari. This is the car right here.
Car was built in.
This is a true 429 balls.
And it was built in Michigan. This one is number 429.
All right. 69 Boss 429, numbered 429, owned by Jack Roush. He bought it in 1975. You won't see another car like this. I've seen 3 in the U.S. for sale. I've seen one for $400,000, one for $600,000, and one for $700,000. This car's over $1 million. 100% over $1 million bucks. You won't see another one like this. What's the deal with that 429 at Boss over there? That's a real deal.
Yeah.
I've never seen one in the flesh.
Really? Jack drives it every summer.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he drives around quite a bit.
We're from Pennsylvania. We're not from around here.
Okay.
Think he still drives it?
Oh yeah.
Get out of here.
Oh, yeah. He
So
drives that one. He drives this blue and white one here. He drives this little bright red one back there.
Wow.
He drives that military one.
So these are all his personal collection.
To him and his daughter, yeah. Like the Cougars are his
Must be nice.
daughters. The Mustang 2 there is his daughter's. He built that car back in the 70s. And she, somebody restored it and offered it to her and she bought it back.
Tell me the craziest story you've experienced.
just
here.
Jack wrecking
That's it. But I mean, it's his cars. He can do whatever he wants.
Well, that's what everybody in the back said. Finally, at least he's driving them. He's doing his thing.
I mean, he's how old is he now?
80.
He's 80 and he's driving these cars and he's enjoying it. He ran his company for how many years?
I think somebody said 47 years the other day.
47 years. And
I think.
what's the point of making a bunch of money and you can't enjoy it, right?
Well, yeah, and they're all sitting here. That's why if he wants to drive them, we'll put oil in them and gas in them and let him take them.
How about the Ford GTs? Does he drive those?
I don't think he can get in it. Well, this here, he'll get in it. You got to help him out of it.
What year is the newer one?
That's a 17.
17.
That's a 05 and a 17.
Which one do you like better?
05.
Yeah. What do you value at the? What do you think the value of all these cars are? No idea. You never thought about it.
We got robbed a couple months ago out back. They took trailers and stuff, and nobody even worried about them. Somebody they finally just put motion detectors in.
What, just regular trailers, nothing in them?
But I don't know if they knew there was nothing. I think they.
Okay.
Well, one of them had Jack Jr.'s kids racing go-karts on it.
So, what do you know? What the plans are for Roush? Like, what's the next company? What they're doing?
No idea. They keep everything pretty quiet.
But you stay out of the business side of it. You're more just into the cars and. What do you do? Like maintenance is the main
They'll
thing.
take care of this stuff when he wants to go. But like today, Jack's daughter's fuel tank wasn't. Her fuel sending unit was bad, so we changed the fuel tank in it.
Which car was that?
F-150,
Oh, you just put
09, yeah.
Tyler, it's nice to meet you.
No more 9.
Tyler, can you tell us what you do here?
Technically speaking, my job title is archivist for the
Archivist?
Yeah, for the company. So
That's awesome.
I actually deal more with like paperwork and photos and other ephemera and trying to catalog and digitize all that stuff.
Yeah, because I noticed there's a lot of cars here, and unless I'm talking to somebody, I don't know much about them. And how long have you been here?
10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Show me your favorite car here. Yeah.
That's always like the worst question.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
if you had to pick one, I mean, I'm going to pick the 429. That's where I'm going to go to. So we'll get there, but I'm not sure if you want to pick something else.
Yeah. It's always hard when people ask. I usually have about 3 I kind of go to. So the new GT obviously is beautiful.
Want to walk over there?
Yeah. That was actually number 15.
Number 15.
It's pretty low in the delivery order too.
That's cool. 15 out of what?
I've heard conflicting reports. I think they didn't meet their targets for the first year, so I think it was. I've for less than 150 cars.
Okay.
I think the goal was something like, I want to say like 250. or something.
250 and they
Yeah.
did 150. So when Jack found out these cars were being produced, he just a phone call over before and say, "Hey, can I get one of these?" How's that work?
Kinda. Actually, we did the application process like everybody else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I mean, we had like fun with it.
Right.
Like obviously, but I think they wanted pretty much everybody to do it.
So he still has to do a formal thing until
Yeah.
they see his name and they're like, "Okay."
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if like Leno had to do it probably
Yeah.
too. I know the real low numbers like went to like Ford execs, but like beyond that,
Who got number one? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure Bill Ford is one.
Ford got one. So you guys filled out the application, got this car.
Yeah.
And then did he drive it at all?
A little bit, yeah. It doesn't have a ton of miles on it right now. I think it's, last I looked at it was probably 800 or 900 miles. But again, Jack is 80.
Yeah.
And his primary issue with this car is that it's not easy to get in or out of.
Get in or out, right?
Yeah.
What was the price list on this when it came out?
They started at, I want to say 425, somewhere around there.
Yep.
And they go up pretty quickly. I think the sticker on this one was like 525.
This is it, the real deal, Boss 429.
So this is the car. Jack bought it, I believe, in, let's say 1974 or 75-ish. And the story, as I understand it, Jack saw it was for sale in front of a gas station down on Telegraph, with the engine out of the car and sitting next to it. And what he has relayed to me is that essentially what happened was a gentleman, the original owner in the car, had passed away young, probably in his 40s or 50s, of cancer, he thought, and willed the car to his 18-year-old son, who decided to take it drag racing and ran out of either money or know-how or both and kind of gave up on it.
Wow.
So Jack at that point was pretty deep into his pro stock days, and put together the car over the space of a winter.
Yeah, hold on, we gotta talk about this again. He found this sitting at a gas station?
For sale with a sign on the
What a
window.
for sale sign
Yeah.
on. What's the chances of that? And it's number 429.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Statistically, yeah, I don't know what the odds of
Statistically,
it.
it's not
Yeah.
possible. It's like this car's meant to be here.
But so it's a period restoration with the correct parts and the original engine.
Did you guys do the restoration here?
He did it himself mostly, and probably the few guys he had working with him. Back in those days, Gap and Roush would have had probably 5 or 6 employees.
Okay.
I mentioned earlier about how hard it was for him to get into the GT. That's the result of having rotator cuff surgeries on both arms. There's kind of lingering effects of those multiple plane crashes.
So he was in multiple plane crashes?
Yes, 2.
I did not know that. Is that like normal knowledge about him?
Kind of sort of. Depends on how in the NASCAR you are, probably. But one of them's hanging on the wall in the other room over there.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw him like,
That's the first of the 2. That's the more severe one. But
And what happened with those? Like the first one?
that was like a little lightweight experimental. A buddy of his had come down to meet him. That was in 2002. Buddy had flown down to meet him at a local airport. He was in Talladega for the race weekend there in April. But it was his friend's plane. It wasn't his plane at the time. Jack, being the aviation nut that he was, I guess, been pestering his buddy for questions about it all through the lunch, and said, the guy had said, if you're so interested, Jack, why don't you just go take it out for a little test drive? That'll be my birthday gift to you. He said he saw, as he was approaching the lake, he saw a set of transmission lines, power lines that kind of ran parallel to the shore. And he says, as a pilot, typically, you see if you see power lines, you're not going to see another one for a little bit. So he figured he was safe to come and buzz the lake about 50 feet off the water. Unfortunately, that was split between 2 different municipalities, and I guess the other one ran a line straight across the lake.
Wow.
And didn't have any of those big orange balls or anything on it, and he snagged it with a landing gear, which stops the plane in midair, basically, like you're landing on an aircraft carrier.
Holy
And he
moly.
goes in the water after that. So
Did he see it at all?
I don't think so. No.
So he didn't even see it.
Smacked his face in the controls. That's the fortunate part, because he's unconscious when he goes underwater. If you're conscious when you go underwater, you aspirate. You breathe in water, you drown in space of probably 2 to 3 minutes. There was a gentleman who was down visiting his brother who lived on the lake. His name was Larry Hicks. He was a retired Marine colonel. He had actually been part of a helicopter team during the Vietnam War that had received training on how to rescue pilots that crash landed. He had brought his boat down to go fishing that weekend, so it was out, tied up on his brother's dock. They saw the crash happen, ran out, jumped in the boat, went out to the middle of the lake, dove down probably 15, 20 feet twice on hook jack because he didn't get him the first time. I brought him up and performed CPR on the wing, which was still floating on top of the lake, and brought him back from the brink. So that was by far the more severe of the two accidents.
So fill us in on Roush Racing and the whole NASCAR side of it.
So for the uninitiated, Jack is probably one of the biggest names in motorsports ownership. You know, initially his success was back in drag racing back in the 60s and 70s, which he leveraged to Trans Am and IMSA GT racing in the 80s and early 90s. Since 1988, his success has only continued on. I think we're at, quote me on this, but like 326 race wins, 8 national championships, including 2 in the Cup Series, the current top series. And for a good chunk of the last 20 years has been the winningest team owner in NASCAR history. So
The winningest owner in NASCAR
across all three divisions. Yeah.
Wow.
The really cool thing about the museum is that like everything in here's typically got a reason to be here.
Appreciate your
Nice
time.
meeting you guys,
It was
yeah.
nice to meet you. Like I said, I sent you my contact
For sure.
information. If you guys decide that you guys are down for something like that, and it would be more from the historic point of view. You know,
Yeah, I'll give your channel a watch and we'll see if we can.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Thank you. What do you think, guys? Large or extra large? We've had nothing but great stuff since we've been to Michigan.
Yeah.
Like, and you've got like people around here are pretty nice. Where we're at in Philly, the city of brotherly love is not so brotherly. Maybe a large, maybe an XL. I don't know.
Yeah.
This place is awesome, guys.
You got a free keychain, so it's
Thank
on
you
the
so
back.
much. Appreciate you guys hooked us up today. Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a great day.
Travel.
Take care. Guys, we just got done at Roush. We had a great day. Met with Tyler, who was like the historian of the museum here. He talked to us about Jack Roush's cars. He went through everything with us, spent some time, like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes talking with us. They were super nice to us. We went back to the shop. They gave us an employee discount. These guys are awesome. If you are ever here in Michigan, you need to check out Roush. Check out their headquarters here, the museum. What they're doing here is amazing. They're constantly evolving their business. Even though everything's changing, they're changing with it. Check it out. In Northville, Michigan. This place is beautiful. We were passing by and we saw a mansion, had to be owned by Ford himself. The thing was like a mile long. It was crazy. We're eating at a restaurant called The Garage. It's themed like the 1950s garage, like where you go to get an oil change if you were in like 1955. It's cool, but it's high scale, upscale. We're gonna go check it out. Come on. Hey, what happened to my diet?
Straight from Italy. We're in Italia right now. Look at that cheese, bro. Chuck E. Cheese or not?
So, you guys know the rules.
One bite.
One bite. I give it a 6.0. You know what it is? I'm a New York, Philly guy. I like thin crust. I don't like no flop. This has got flop.
I like burnt pizza,
I got you with the real review. I'm the real foodie here. My dad is just,
My
you know,
dad is just-
he's closed-minded. Drip test. Come on, go ahead, drip. Ready? I'll give that a good 5-0. Feels like I'm eating bagel bite.